going on, crypto bolts, and welcome to another video, guys. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the coolest features that are currently got introduced into BullX. If you're not using BullX, you guys are slacking because this is Pump.Fun Photon on steroids. Link is down below so you guys can get in right now, get early access, and get exclusive 10% off on your gas fees to save a ton of money. So with that being said, let's talk about what we're going to be talking about today. So there is a brand new feature that got introduced into BullX that we're extremely excited about, and that is profiles. So what exactly are profiles and how do they work? Well, I'm going to teach you guys exactly how all of these things happen. So before we break that down, I do want to let you guys know that there are multiple ways of getting into coins. So when there is a coin that doesn't have like a super healthy chart, right? And you know, it's kind of stagnant, you really don't need to spend too much money buying into that token. Okay, so for example, this particular token that I'm in right now, the way it's going down, I still believe this bounces up, by the way, but the way this is going down, I really don't need to up my gas fees to be able to get in this token really fast, because I know that the chart is going down, and usually buying in here, I could save some money, right? So what I want to do here is I want to make sure I go into my settings. So the way you go into your settings are two ways. You can actually click this thing right here, and that's going to take you to the profile, and you could also make multiple profiles. But the way you want to access this is you click on this little icon right here, and this is going to give you guys a buy setting and a sell setting. Okay, we're going to go over three settings. One's going to be called a Degen, one's going to be called the ape setting, and one's going to be called the snipe setting. Okay, so I'm going to explain how this actually works, because I know a lot of people have been writing in the comments, can you please do a tutorial video on the best settings you could possibly do for a particular setup. So this is going to be your standard settings that I want to give for you guys, especially if you're new to crypto. You don't want to overspend in priority fees, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys don't have a lot of soul invested in here. So you want to make sure that you keep that in mind. Okay, so one great thing to know is that every time you upgrade this, you're going to notice that there is this little gasoline icon right here in the top. That's going to let you know how much you're actually spending when it comes to the priority fees. Okay, and then you will also be able to see it within the dashboard. So let me show you guys exactly what I mean. So right here we have priority fee, that's 0.02, so that means SOL. If you want to change this to a dollar amount, I think you probably can you? No, you can't. Okay, if you want to change it to a priority amount, you could, and that will show you guys exactly how much SOL you're putting in, just to make sure your buy goes in fast. Okay, the slippage fee, now this is the tricky part, because this is where people get it mistaken. I believe by default this is set to 20 or 30. Now, the thing you want to know about slippage is slippage just means that that is the amount of tokens you're willing to compromise losing on if you buy. So for example, let's say I were to buy into this token, right? And if I buy at 125, I'm guaranteed 10 tokens. Now, if I increase my slippage fee and I say, you know what, I'm willing to sacrifice 5% of those tokens or 10% of those tokens to be able to just make sure my buy goes through, that means I have the possibility that instead of getting the 10 tokens, I'm only going to get 9 tokens. Okay, so the less tokens means less profit. So whenever you go into these trades, you want to make sure that you're constantly aware of how much you're paying, because some people will probably be like, oh, you know, I'm up, but they never put into factor what the priority fee, the slippage fee, and all of that accounts to. And you, instead of winning, you're like, man, I was supposed to win, but I ended up losing because you're not setting this correctly. So what I'm showing you guys right here is I'm showing you a priority fee, what I personally believe will get you into a token. It's not going to get you in there super fast, but should be enough for you guys to don't lose a lot of money. I'm going to show you guys the other one called Ape, which that one should theoretically get you in there fairly quickly. Then I'm going to get you into the one called Snipe. And that one's going to get you in there really, really fast without a problem, but you're going to be wasting a lot more soul. Okay. So we have 0.2, we have the slippage rate at 5. Theoretically, I would suggest to leave this at 3, because that is a fairly good one right here. If you leave this at 3, I like to leave 3 or 2, but I personally feel like 5 is good, especially the tokens that, you know, I personally get into. They're really good. But if you're new to crypto and you want to save a little bit of money, you're probably going to want to set this to 2, no more than 3. But I personally recommend 5 if you have at least over 3 to 4 SOL to play with. All right, so mem protection. This is going to be extremely important, because you see this big line right here, this big green line. So what mem protection does is, let's say you were to buy this token right here, right? When this big line happens, The map protection, what it does is it sees that is this big wick line that pushed this up all the way to 279. It's not going to buy it for you. Now, if you have this disable and you bought right here, it's going to, instead of buying at 135k market cap, it's going to buy you at 275. So you're going to be eventually at a loss when you enter this token. Okay. So I always suggest you leave it enabled. Sometimes when having the map protection enabled, it slows down the transaction. That's why we up the slippage fee. And we actually put a little bit more in the bribery. So bribery works almost the same as a priority fee, but bribery is just pretty much just telling BullX, you know what, BullX, I need you to do it like right now. If you can make your bot do it like right now. So that's going to be helpful for when you do that. Okay, so that's going to be your buy settings. The sell settings are almost very similar. The thing with sell is I personally want to sell fast. So by default, I'm going to leave it almost exactly the same as the other one. I do set my priority fee a little bit higher on this one just because I want to sell faster. And I also sell my slippage to 10 because I want to get out of the token really quick. Because sometimes you get these big dips, and by the time the transaction's over, instead of selling up here, it will end up selling right here and you're already at a loss. So you want to make sure you're selling really quickly. And that is basically pretty much the Degen settings, right? Now, what we want to do is we're going to add another preset, and we're going to call this ape. Okay, so this is going to be your ape. Now, you can theoretically copy all these, and these are going to help you out. So we're going to go to the ape setting, and as you see in the ape setting, everything changes. We're going to go ahead and access our stuff right here once again, and this is where we're going to be changing stuff. So on this one, guys, we're going to put 15% because we're willing to waste 15% of our slippage fee right here. This is still high. You could literally go to 10 if you want, but 15% for my ape one should be pretty good. That means it's going to get me in there very fast, but my priority fee is going to be a little bit higher. So the way I do the priority fee here, guys, I go 2 here and I go 3 right here. So what this is going to do, and we're going to enable that. What this is going to do is when I buy, it's going to pretty much buy instantly, but it's probably going to take between 2 to 4 seconds to get that buy-in. So if I were to click buy right now, it would, buy in here. It will do a little bit circling here and eventually buy. This is my ape setting because I want to get in there quickly, but I don't want to sacrifice too much. Okay. And that's just pretty much it. And then I'm going to show you guys my snipe one, the one that's like, I'm getting in like as soon as I click. Okay. And then we're going to go sell settings on this one. I do the same thing for the priority. I go 2 here. And then I just increase the bribery here to 5. And I set this to 20. This is because I want to get out of the token really fast because I know it's probably going to die. And I want to make sure my sell goes through really fast. And it will do that for me. Now, I know some of you guys might be like, yo, that's a pretty high slippage. But this is what I'm telling you guys. You want to make sure that when you're trading consciously where you are up by a lot of profit, where this doesn't really hurt the your wallet. And this should be good. So if you don't feel comfortable with this, definitely go with the Degen one. So we're going to do that one. And we're going to save this one right here. So that's automatically saved. So whenever I go to this one, you're going to see, going to change. If I go to this one, it's automatically changed. I want to make sure that's enabled the map protection because if we have this candle, it's going to sell here. We don't want that. So we want to make sure map protection is actually on. All right. So we're going to do one more. And this one's going to be called Snipe. Okay. Snipe feature. Now the Snipe one, this is like, I am getting instantly in here and I am willing to sacrifice a ton of soul to get in here. So I'm going to set the priority here to 40. And you're probably wondering, bro, that is crazy because 30 is the max. Sometimes tokens will come out of Pump.Fun and they can instantly go from like 1 minute all the way to a mil. And you want to make sure that as soon as it gets out of Pump.Fun, you buy it at least at 100K market cap. So when it hits a mil, you're already X, right? You don't want to hit this and it's loading and it's loading and it's buying at 100K market cap, 700K market cap. And you're like, man, I wish I would have gotten there 100K because that's when I saw it. And that is basically when I wanted to buy. So this is going to allow you guys to buy instantly. Okay. It's going to be pretty expensive here, but you'll get there in real fast. So bribery, I do 0.1. And for priority fee, I do 0.5. Okay. So basically what this is going to do, it's going to increase my priority fee of how much this is at. So I'm dumping about $25 here just to get into this token. And I'm losing a lot because I know this token, if I get in it, I am able to 10x, 20x as long as I get there in fairly easy or fairly fast. So that's going to be right there. Now, the great thing about this is you'll be able to see this in real action, how much money that is. So Once again, we're going to enable map protection. We're going to enable map protection right here. And we're getting in here real fast. So for the selling option on this one, okay, so we were for the snipe one, for the buying, did I change the wrong one? Yeah, so for the buying one, guys, once again, 40 right here. Hold on, 40 right here. This is to buy. Priority fee is 0.5 here, okay? And for my bribery, it's going to be 1. Bribery is just going to make it go faster. This is putting a lot of tokens, a lot of money in here, but we should be good. All right, so we're going to go here, 0.5, 40. And then for the sell one, the sell settings, once again, 30% is good for me. This one, I am going to leave it at 0.5. And on this one, I don't do that much. I do 0.5 because if the chart is pretty solid, it's going to hang in there. It's going to be pretty stable. So I'm pretty confident it will do well. So that, you know, I'm going to be able to sell not on a major knife. I'm just going to be able to sell at a relatively good cost. And that is the snipe settings. So we have the Degen settings, we have the ape settings, and we have the snipes. Now, the great thing about this is you could actually do these really fast. So for example, let's say this token right here, it's at 55K. I want to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to go here. I'm going to buy a little bit more. Currently, the way this chart looks right now, it looks pretty good, pretty healthy. Let's say I say, you know what? I'm going to throw in 0.5 SOL here. I'm going to buy. I'm going to show you guys exactly how long this takes. So this is the default Degen settings. It took like about, I would say like 3 seconds. It wasn't that fast. It wasn't that bad. And as you see, it was a pretty decent buy here because we got in very nicely in here at a 68 market cap because we bought here, we sold here, we got a little bit of initials out. We bought here. And you get the great thing about BullX, you can see how much you bought. So I bought 74 here, right? 0.5. I sold here for $200. And then we went ahead and we bought in another 150. Now we bought another $74 because we're expecting this chart to go up. Right now, I believe this is going to break all-time high and we're going to be able to pull our initials really fast here. So we should be good to go. That's why I love doing these live trades here, because you guys are able to see the thought process. You're able to see when the buys go through. And as you see, even with the Degen settings, that still did pretty good, right? That still was able to get me into the coin really fast and get me a nice entry. Another great thing I love about this one is that now I'm able to see the average price. So this yellow line, this is the average price. So we go here to my position, it'll show my P&L, and this line, basically, if the token doesn't go below this line, I am not at a loss. If it goes below this line and the line starts getting red, or if it goes below this yellow line, then I know I am losing on my P&L, which is really dope. Another great thing I would like about this, guys, is you could actually see in real time how much money you've made so far by just clicking this little flex icon, right? So I don't know if you guys knew that already, but I'll tell you, total you invested, total I sold, and total profit, I'm at 131. So basically, if I were to sell right now, I would have, you know, a plus 44, but we're not going to be selling for peanuts. We're not going to be selling for McDonald's. We're actually going to be selling for generational wealth. So I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to keep writing. If you guys want to know where this ended up with and how much money we actually made out of this one, make sure you guys are following me on X. Link is down below. It's also in our description. And also don't forget to join BullX, one of the best schools right now when it comes to Pump.Fun and also trading. Link is down below as well. Thank you for watching. Supercharge your crypto needs, and I will talk to you guys later.